It's 3 in the morning. Again. You're exhausted. Your body is screaming for rest, but your mind won't stop. It's replaying conversations, imagining worst-case scenarios, calculating finances, worrying about your kids, running through everything that went wrong and everything that could still go wrong. You've tried everything. Melatonin, meditation apps, counting sheep, reading boring books. Nothing works. And the lack of sleep is making everything worse. You're irritable with your kids. You can't focus at work. You're making decisions from a place of exhaustion instead of clarity. Sleep feels impossible when your entire life is falling apart. If this is you right now, you're not alone. Insomnia during divorce is one of the most common and most debilitating symptoms of this kind of stress and grief. And it's not just in your head. There's actual science behind why your body won't let you rest. Today, we're talking to sleep specialists and women who've been exactly where you are. We're explaining why divorce destroys your sleep, what's happening in your brain and body, and most importantly, we're giving you practical, non-medical strategies that actually work. Not someday, tonight. These are tools you can use tonight to start sleeping better. Because you can't heal if you can't rest, and you deserve rest. Even now, especially now. Let's talk about how to finally get a good night's sleep during the hardest time of your life. The science of sleeplessness. First, let's understand what's actually happening in your body. Dr. Sarah Chen, a sleep specialist who works with divorce clients, explains it this way. When you're going through divorce, your nervous system is stuck in fight or flight mode. Your body thinks you're being chased by a bear, so it's pumping stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. And you can't sleep when your body thinks you're in danger. Here's what's happening. Your cortisol levels are elevated, especially at night when they should be dropping. Cortisol is your stress hormone. It's supposed to be high in the morning to wake you up and low at night so you can sleep. But during divorce, it stays high all the time. Your body is on constant alert. Your amygdala is hyperactive. That's the part of your brain responsible for fear and emotional processing. It's working overtime trying to process the trauma of your divorce, the uncertainty of your future, the grief of your loss. And it's doing this processing at night when there are no distractions. Your sleep architecture is disrupted. Even when you do fall asleep, you're not getting deep, restorative sleep. You're spending too much time in light sleep and REM sleep, which is when you dream and process emotions. That's why you wake up feeling like you haven't slept at all, even if you were technically unconscious for hours. And the worst part, sleep deprivation makes everything worse. It increases anxiety, decreases your ability to regulate emotions, impairs decision-making, and weakens your immune system. You're trying to navigate one of the most difficult experiences of your life with a brain that's not functioning properly. It's a vicious cycle. Stress causes insomnia. Insomnia increases stress. And round you go. But here's the good news. You can interrupt this cycle. You can't eliminate the stress overnight, but you can teach your body to rest even in the middle of chaos. And that changes everything. Jessica's story. Jessica didn't sleep for more than 3 hours a night for the first 4 months of her separation. She'd lie in bed, heart racing, mind spinning through the same thoughts on an endless loop. What would happen to the house? How would she support herself? Were her kids going to be okay? Did she make the right decision? What if she couldn't survive this? By morning, she'd finally drift off just as her alarm went off. She'd drag herself through the day on coffee and adrenaline, then collapse into bed exhausted, only to start the cycle again. She tried sleep aids. They made her groggy, but didn't stop the racing thoughts. She tried drinking wine to relax. It helped her fall asleep, but she'd wake up at 2 in the morning feeling worse. Nothing worked. Her doctor told her she needed to address the anxiety, not just the insomnia. The insomnia was a symptom, not the problem. That's when Jessica started working with a therapist who specialized in sleep issues, and everything changed. Her therapist taught her something crucial. You can't control whether you sleep, but you can control what you do in the hours before bed, and you can control how you respond when you can't sleep. Jessica learned that her nighttime routine was actually making things worse. She'd work until she was exhausted, then collapse into bed with her phone, scrolling through divorce forums and legal advice websites, her mind spinning faster and faster. She was training her brain to associate bed with stress and anxiety. Her therapist helped her create what she called a wind-down protocol. Starting 2 hours before bed, Jessica would stop working, stop looking at screens, and start preparing her body and mind for rest. She started taking a hot bath with Epsom salts. She'd listen to calming music, not podcasts or the news. She'd do gentle stretching. She'd write in her journal, getting all the racing thoughts out of her head and onto paper so they weren't circling endlessly. She created a worry window at 7 in the evening where she'd allow herself 15 minutes to worry down every worry, every fear, every spiraling thought. Then she'd close the journal and tell herself, "I've acknowledged these. They're written down. They'll still be there tomorrow. Right now, I'm choosing rest." The first few nights, it didn't work. She'd lie in bed thinking about all the things in that journal. But her therapist told her to stick with it. She said, "You're retraining your brain. It takes time." After 2 weeks, something shifted. Jessica started falling asleep faster. Not immediately, but within 30 minutes instead of 3 hours. She started sleeping in longer stretches, 4 hours, then 5, then 6. 3 months later, Jessica was sleeping 7 hours most nights. The divorce wasn't over, the stress was still there, but her body had learned to rest anyway. Jessica told us the key was consistency. I had to do the wind-down protocol every night, even when I didn't feel like it, even when I thought it was pointless. I was creating a signal to my body. This routine means it's safe to rest now. Practical strategies that work. Let's talk about what actually works. These are strategies from sleep specialists and women who've survived divorce insomnia. Strategy 1. The wind-down window. 2 hours before bed, start transitioning your body from stress mode to rest mode. This is not optional. This is non-negotiable if you want to sleep. Dim the lights in your home. Bright lights tell your brain it's daytime. Use warm, soft lighting to signal that evening is here. Turn off screens. The blue light from phones, tablets, and TVs suppresses melatonin production. If you absolutely must use a screen, use blue light blocking glasses or enable night mode. Lower the temperature. Your body needs to cool down to fall asleep. Set your thermostat to 65 to 68 degrees. Take a hot bath or shower an hour before bed, so your body temperature drops afterward, which triggers sleepiness. Strategy 2. The brain dump journaling. This is the single most effective tool women mentioned. Before bed, write down everything that's circling in your mind. Every worry, every to-do, every fear, every angry thought. Get it all out. Don't censor yourself. Don't make it pretty. Just dump it all onto paper. Then close the journal and tell yourself, "These thoughts are captured. They're not going anywhere. I can think about them tomorrow. Right now, I'm choosing rest." The act of writing tells your brain, "We've processed this. We don't need to keep cycling through it." It creates closure that allows your mind to quiet. Strategy 3. The 4-7-8 breathing technique. This is a game changer for calming an anxious nervous system. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 7 counts. Exhale through your mouth for 8 counts. Repeat 4 times. This breathing pattern activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your rest and digest mode. It's physiologically impossible to be in fight or flight mode while doing this breathing pattern. Do this when you get into bed. Do this when you wake up at 3 in the morning with your heart racing. Do this anytime anxiety is overwhelming you. Strategy 4. Create a worry window. Set aside 15 minutes earlier in the evening, not right before bed, to worry intentionally. Set a timer, write down every fear, let yourself spiral. Then, when the timer goes off, you're done. You gave worry its time. Now, you're moving on. If worries pop up later at night, tell yourself, that's tomorrow's worry window problem. Right now, I'm resting. Strategy 5. Progressive muscle relaxation. Your body holds stress physically. Release it intentionally. Starting with your toes, tense every muscle group for 5 seconds, then release. Move up through your body. Feet, calves, thighs, stomach, chest, arms, shoulders, face. By the time you reach your head, your entire body will feel heavy and relaxed. This signals to your nervous system that you're safe. Tension means danger. Relaxation means safety. Strategy 6. The realistic expectations reset. Stop expecting 8 perfect hours of sleep right now. That's not realistic during high stress. Instead, aim for rest. If you can't sleep, rest. Lie in bed with your eyes closed, breathing slowly, letting your body be horizontal and still. This is still restorative even if you're not unconscious. And here's something crucial. If you've been lying awake for more than 20 minutes, get up. Don't lie there getting frustrated. Go to another room. Do something calming like reading or gentle stretching under dim light. Then try again when you feel sleepy. You're retraining your brain to associate your bed with sleep, not with lying awake stressed. Strategy 7. The morning routine matters too. Get sunlight within 30 minutes of waking up. Go outside for 10 minutes. This resets your circadian rhythm and tells your brain when daytime is, which helps it know when nighttime is too. Move your body, even a short walk. Exercise reduces cortisol and anxiety. Just don't exercise within 3 hours of bedtime because it can be too energizing. Limit caffeine to before noon. It stays in your system for 6 to 8 hours. That afternoon coffee is affecting your sleep even if you don't realize it. Maria's story. Maria's insomnia was different. She could fall asleep fine, but she'd wake up every single night at 3 in the morning with her heart pounding, mind racing, and she couldn't fall back asleep. She'd lie there panicking about the fact that she was awake, which made the anxiety worse. She'd calculate how many hours of sleep she'd lose. She'd dread the exhausted day ahead. The anxiety about not sleeping kept her from sleeping. A sleep specialist taught her something that changed everything. 3 in the morning wake-ups during stress are normal. Your cortisol naturally rises around that time. When you're going through trauma, it rises higher and wakes you up. It's not permanent. Your body is just hypervigilant right now. That reframe was huge. Maria wasn't broken. Her body was responding normally to abnormal stress. The specialist taught her the 3 a.m. protocol. When you wake up, don't look at the clock. Don't calculate hours. Don't panic. Just accept that you're awake right now. Start the 4-7-8 breathing immediately. Don't let your mind start spiraling first. If you're still awake after 10 minutes of breathing, get up. Go to a different room. Do something soothing. Read something light. Do gentle stretches. Have a small snack like crackers or a banana, because sometimes low blood sugar contributes to nighttime waking. Then go back to bed and try again. No pressure, no frustration. Just permission to rest however your body needs right now. Maria also started keeping a small notebook by her bed. When she woke up with racing thoughts, she'd write them down in the dark, just a few words to capture each worry. Then she'd close the notebook and tell herself, captured. I can think about this in the morning. Within 3 weeks, Maria was either sleeping through the night or falling back asleep within 20 minutes when she did wake up. She still had occasional bad nights, but they were the exception instead of the rule. Maria told us the key was stopping the fight.
I was fighting my insomnia, which created more anxiety, which created more insomnia. Once I accepted that my sleep would be disrupted during this time and stopped panicking about it, my body relaxed enough to actually rest. What to avoid? Let's talk about what doesn't work and actually makes things worse. Alcohol. Yes, it helps you fall asleep, but it disrupts your sleep architecture. You don't get deep, restorative sleep. You wake up feeling terrible, and it increases anxiety long term. If you're using wine to fall asleep every night, it's time to find a different tool. Staying in bed when you can't sleep. You're training your brain that bed equals stress and wakefulness. Get up. Do something calming. Go back when you feel sleepy. Sleeping in excessively on weekends. It disrupts your circadian rhythm. Try to wake up within an hour of your regular time, even on days off. You can rest during the day if needed, but don't throw off your sleep schedule. Eating heavy meals close to bedtime. Your body needs energy to digest, which interferes with sleep. Finish eating at least 3 hours before bed. If you need a snack, keep it light. Intense exercise right before bed. It's energizing and raises your cortisol. Move your workouts to earlier in the day. Napping after 3 in the afternoon or napping for more than 20 minutes. It makes nighttime sleep harder. If you must nap, keep it short and early. Expecting perfection. Your sleep won't be perfect right now. That's okay. Progress, not perfection. Celebrate 4 hours of sleep instead of 3. Celebrate falling asleep in 30 minutes instead of 90. Small wins matter. When to get help. Most divorce-related insomnia improves with these strategies and time, but sometimes you need additional support. Consider seeing a sleep specialist or therapist if you've tried these strategies consistently for 6 weeks and see no improvement. Your insomnia is affecting your ability to function at work or care for your children. You're having panic attacks at night. You're experiencing intrusive thoughts or flashbacks that prevent sleep. You're using alcohol or other substances to fall asleep. You're feeling depressed or having thoughts of self-harm. There's no shame in getting help. Sometimes divorce insomnia is actually a sign of clinical anxiety or depression that needs treatment. Sometimes you need short-term medication to break the cycle. Sometimes you need trauma-focused therapy to process what you're going through. Sleep matters. It's not a luxury. It's essential for your healing. If you can't get there on your own, reach out for support. Long-term healing. Here's what women on the other side want you to know. The insomnia doesn't last forever. As you process the grief, as the uncertainty resolves, as your nervous system realizes you're not actually in danger anymore, your sleep will return. For some women, it takes weeks. For others, months. But it does improve. And here's something beautiful that happens. The wind-down routines you're creating now become lifelong tools for managing stress. The breathing techniques, the journaling, the boundaries around screens and caffeine. These aren't just divorce survival tools, they're life skills. Women told us that their post-divorce sleep is actually better than their sleep during the marriage because they're not lying next to someone they don't trust. They're not walking on eggshells. They're not absorbing someone else's stress and mood. Their bed becomes their sanctuary again, a place of rest instead of a place of tension. One woman told us, "I sleep better alone than I did next to him for the last 5 years of our marriage. That was when I knew leaving was the right choice." Your sleep will return. Your body will remember how to rest. This insomnia is temporary, even though it feels permanent right now. Ending. Tonight, you're going to try something different. 2 hours before bed, you're going to start your wind-down routine, whatever that looks like for you. A bath, dim lights, gentle music, journaling, stretching, breathing. You're going to do a brain dump. Get every racing thought onto paper. Then close the journal and tell yourself, these are captured. I can think about them tomorrow. Tonight, I'm choosing rest. You're going to do the 4-7-8 breathing when you get into bed, 4 times through. Let your body soften into the mattress. And if you don't fall asleep right away, that's okay. You're still resting. You're still giving your body what it needs. If you wake up at 3 in the morning, you're not going to panic. You're going to breathe. You're going to write down whatever woke you up, and you're going to give yourself permission to rest however you can right now. This is a practice. You're not going to master it tonight, but tonight is the beginning. Tonight, you start teaching your body that it's safe to rest even in the middle of chaos. So here's what I want to ask you. What's your go-to trick for falling asleep when your mind is racing? What's worked for you? What hasn't? Share in the comments. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to try tonight. And if you're reading this at 3 in the morning, unable to sleep, we see you. You're not alone. Thousands of women are awake right now dealing with the same thing. And we're all going to get through this together. In our next video, we're going to talk about rebuilding your identity after divorce, as we mentioned before. Because rest is important, but so is rediscovering who you are beyond this pain. Until then, be gentle with yourself.
Your body is doing the best it can under impossible circumstances. Honor it. Care for it. Give it permission to rest. You deserve sleep. You deserve peace. You deserve rest. And tonight, you're one step closer to finding it again. Sweet dreams.